These videos were created for you to watch along. They'll teach you about client track so you know what's going on. So best of luck with all of your data. Now here's your HMIS system administrator. In this training video, I'll be going over the active cases feature of ClientTrack, also called case assignments. This feature in ClientTrack allows a user to keep a list of the current clients they are working with. It's a great way to stay organized and be on top of the clients that you are working with on a day-to-day basis. It's also great on an agency level because you might have only one project that you enroll people to, but you can have those particular clients split into different caseloads for different users that you have. So if you're on your home tab under My Client Track, you should see the Active Cases icon. And you'll probably already have some clients listed here. So I'm going to go over first the most common way that this form works as far as clients being put onto your active cases and also clients being taken off of your active cases. So you might recall while doing an intake, there's a form where it asks what project you are enrolling your client into. And when you get to that form, there's also a field where it asks who's the case manager. And so this is this form here, and this is something you see every time you do an intake on somebody. And it will automatically default your name, whoever you were logged in as. When you do the enrollment, it's going to fill in that name here as the case manager. Now, if you are not the person that's going to be the case manager for the client you are enrolling, you can always click the little magnifying glass here and do a search for other users within your agency and select one of them, and then it will automatically put it on their caseload instead. And also when you do that, you can see here in the top right, you'll be able to see how many active cases they already have. This is for the purpose of if someone already has a lot of different cases and you're trying to just split things up evenly, it kind of gives you a heads up of how many cases a user already has. So automatically while doing intakes, a client is going to be assigned a case manager. And again, that's where it's going to show up under your active cases. Now in the same way, when a client is exited, and we'll pull this up real quick. On the first page here, there's the option of End Case Assignment, and it's going to be by default checked. And when that is left checked, that's going to go ahead and mark that client as inactive, and so they will not show up under whose ever active cases they are under right now. So that being said, through natural enrollments and exiting, active cases works in that form automatically. Now sometimes because of other circumstances, a client might not be on your active cases that does already have an enrollment into your project. I know this has happened with a lot of migrated clients, for instance. They will not be on your active case assignments already, but they still do have an enrollment. And so something I want to clear up early on in this video is the difference between people showing up under your active cases and people actually being enrolled into the project. And so while we know that those are somewhat connected as far as they automatically get put on your active case assignments when you do an enrollment, these two lists don't necessarily have to line up with each other. If you are concerned about who's actually enrolled in your project, or if someone's already been exited from a project, if you do current enrollments and select your project, that's going to give you an actual list of who's enrolled in your program at the current time. And if you pull up a client and they have an exit date, listed under their enrollments. So if I were to pull up this client and they had an exit date right here, you can guarantee yourself that person is exited from your project, even if they might still be showing up under your active cases. And so it's important to know that these two functions operate differently. And as far as reporting goes and everything else in the system in regards to if a client is currently enrolled or not, the active cases is not going to determine that. It's more for just a way you can be organized with and have a list of clients that you are working with. And we'll see that a little bit later on as we get into this video, that you have the option of adding a client to your active cases regardless if they have a current enrollment or not, and also you can take someone off your caseload manually even if they're still enrolled in your program. So we've been over active cases here, and also I would note here while you're on the screen you can click this little icon and this would take you straight to the client. So this is where that screen kind of helps out, just an easy way to pull up your clients and get to them. You can also click View Inactive Case Assignments here. These would be clients that had been assigned to you and are no longer assigned to you as of now. And again, this could be because this person's been exited from the program and it automatically marked them as inactive. If you click on Caseload, you can see all of the particular clients that have been on your caseload, whether they are inactive or active. So you always see everybody listed here. And this is also the screen that would allow you to add a new client to your caseload. Now this is not going to enroll a client into a program or create a client record. All it's going to do is allow you to search for a particular client that's already in the system, select what case manager, and so this would normally be yourself, and then you can click Save, and now this person would be on my active cases. Also, this is where you would be able to mark someone that is active on your cases as inactive if for whatever reason they do not need to be showing up on your active cases. You can click the little pencil icon beside them and you can simply change their status to inactive. Once you do that, if you go to active cases, you'll see they're not listed here anymore. Another option we have is caseload reassignment. If we click this icon here, this will show our current clients on our caseload. And then this will also list or have a drop down of other users within your agency. What this allows you to do is you can see how many cases all the different users have within your agency. This also allows you to easily reassign cases to someone else. So for instance, right now this is showing my cases. Say I wanted to assign this to someone else, I could easily do that here. Hit Save and Close. And now those two clients are now assigned to Luella. And if I go to my active cases, I won't have any. So you can see how this can be used. It's very customizable. It's not dependent on if a client is necessarily enrolled or exited. And so this can allow you a good way to stay organized with the clients that you want to work with. Also, note on the user dashboard, if you scroll down, so this is the first thing you see when you first log into ClientTrack. If you scroll down, there's actually a My Case Assignments here. This is basically a shortcut to the Active Cases form, and you would see any active cases you have here, as well as an icon, a little blue icon beside each name that would allow you to quickly pull up that client. So that's pretty much everything for case assignments / active cases. As always, if you have any questions, hit the help button in the top right and you can submit an issue on it. Thank you.